Hello and welcome back to the channel, Ginger Ninja's Movie Reviews. I am the Ginger Ninja and these are my movie reviews. If you're new to the channel, thank you very much for tuning in, stopping by and checking it out. It truly is appreciated. And of course, my returning viewers, always appreciated. Thank you very much for your support. This week, we're getting to the final Martial Arts Mayhem. That's right, this is it. Kicking off with a bang. And we're looking at the movie Blackbelt from 1992. Now, Blackbelt is a martial arts film and it features a relatively unknown cast at that time. It is a low-budget action flick and you can find it on Tubi. If you can get Tubi, this is where to watch it. Now, the film attempts to deliver an entertaining experience for martial arts enthusiasts, and in some respects it does hit that, but in others it misses the mark completely. So let's get into it. And looking at the nitty-gritty, this film was directed by Charles Philip Moore and Rick Jacobson. There are two directors, and I'm going to touch on that in a bit. Starring Don the Dragon Wilson, Deirdre Harge, Matthias Hughes, and many more, this is a... Well, let's focus on Don the Dragon Wilson and Matthias Hughes. Don the Dragon Wilson was an up-and-coming action star in the early 90s. He never really made it to huge heights, and he did star in quite a lot of movies. Matthias Hughes, man, he was like the go-to giant blonde villain. Like, if you wanted a big bad guy, he was your guy in the 90s, and he plays this role quite well. And I'm also going to touch on his character because I thought, while disturbing, it probably was the most interesting character. So, now, the film centers around an ex-cop, played by Don the Dragon Wilson, who protects a singer from a psycho killer. The singer being played by Deirdre Harge as Shana, and the psycho killer being played by Matthias Hughes. John Sweet, I believe his name was, so interesting name, but that's really neither here nor there. So, during the course of the film, Don the Dragon Wilson is hired to protect Deirdre Harge from Matthias Hughes. Now, in the course of the film, Don the Dragon Wilson's ex-police partner is killed by Matthias Hughes driving on a quest for vengeance. So, yeah, it's kind of a bit of a crossroads. Speaking of the cast and the characters. Now, Don the Dragon Wilson, his character is... Yeah, look, it's really hard to describe because the acting in this is subpar, to be honest. The cast struggle to deliver, convincing performances. The dialogue is stilted and lacks depth. Just making this, it just lacks impact. That's all I can say to this. The characters themselves, Don the Dragon Wilson, when you're first introduced to him, he is getting a mother's daughter back from a pimp. So he's kind of playing a mercenary vigilante, but then he's also playing a bodyguard and a martial arts instructor. So you're really not quite too sure what his job actually is. You know he was an ex-cop, but does that give him, carte blanche to be a vigilante? I don't know. Maybe. Matthias Hughes, I mentioned his character John Sweet. He is an intimidating fella. Just pure size of him, massive. He would be intimidating to anyone. When you first introduce, he's just a mountain of muscle and kicks ass in this film. His character is very psychopathic, and I'm just going to put this out there. There is more incest in this film than Game of Thrones. Well, maybe not quite as much, but there's this really weird scene between Matthias Hughes, his character's younger version, and his mother, which is kind of what's drawing him to hunt down Shana, played by Deirdre Harge. So yeah, it's out there. Like, you got to check it out, really. So look, it's a good film, but it's very clunky. That's probably the only word I can use to describe it. Like I said, the acting is subpar, the delivery of the lines is just, there's no depth to it, It's very wooden in the performances. The fight scenes, however, I will give it that. The movie showcases a series of very intense fight scenes and showcases various styles of combat and martial arts. And that's really good. That is the highlight of this film. And I guess that's what you're into this film for. What you want to see are the fight scenes. The problem is the storyline getting to those fight scenes. It doesn't push it forward fast enough to get to those fight scenes. The movie only goes for about an hour and a half. So you'd think, all right, it's going to move quickly. It does not. It gets stilted on those, the story driving forward. It just doesn't get to the point, much like I'm doing now. Visually, the movie is limited by its modest budget. It is a low budget film, but they make the most of what they have. Some of the sets seem a little bit low budget, but whatever. It's lackluster, but that's the production values. You know, what can you do? The cinematography and editing are very basic. There's not a lot there. You know, it does fail to capture the full potential of the action scenes, though, but the fight scenes are quite good. So, yeah, soundtrack, it's serviceable, but there's no lasting impact. Yeah, so despite all of its flaws, Blackbelt may appeal to the diehard fans of martial arts films. However, if you're just looking for a film to, you know, waste some time or enjoy, this is probably not going to be it. There are probably ones out there that are better. However, if you're a Don the Dragon Wilson fan or Matthias Hughes fan, then this is definitely one you'll want to check out because it does have its moments. And like I said, the fight scenes are quite good. So overall, Blackbelt, it's a mediocre martial arts film that relies heavily on genre tropes and cliches. And while it offers some entertainment, it's the lack of originality and the lack of drive in the film. The overall performances are weak. It just, really did not hit all the right notes for me to make this a really good feature and put it right up there. It had the potential, it just didn't come. So overall, Blackbelt for me gets a 5.5 out of 10. It's okay, but not great. So there you have it. My review of Blackbelt. And I'm sorry I've dribbled on about it for probably longer than I expected, but it's just one of those films. There are some really good points to it, but then it's just got some really bad points to it. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this film. If you could, please do give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel for future content. Hit that notification bell. You know every time I put up a video. And if you have seen this film, let me know what you thought of it down in the comments below. And don't forget, have a great day. Bye.